this is Sims, and welcome to our whole new series, Fractured, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail. So what this is sort of it's a combo kind of thing that I'm doing. But it's a Disney villain legacy, pretty much. I'll be linking the challenge down below. You know that I never follow anything 100%. But that's kind of what I'm going to be using for the most part. I had decided before Christmas that I wanted to do something different. And I was trying to think of different challenges and everything. So I wrote all of this months ago. So you're going to have to bear with me while I'm trying to go through the story and the backstory because I kind of forgot and I didn't refresh myself. So we going into this blind. But I was actually thinking, like, God, I wanted something that, like, was like our Disney Princess Legacy, but was like reverse. I wanted it to be like a messed up Disney, like, you know what I mean? Like, not the happily ever after. And I remembered watching Sim Sugar play or start to play the Happily Never After challenge, and I was like, yeah, something like that. I want something where it's messed up, broken fairy tales, not the happily ever after Disney kind of thing. And we kind of already did the Disney Princess challenge. We stopped toward the end. I never finished it. We kind of just, But I'm like, I wanted something darker that might be a little more interesting or whatever. The only problem with the Happily Never After challenge for me was the Cinderella generation, which is the first one, starts off really good. And you're like, yes, I love the in-depth that that was put into the backstory, all of that. And then all of the other ones, and Snow White might have been fine, because I think that was the second one. But after that, I'm like, this is the Disney Princess Legacy. Like 100, there's no darkness in it. I'm like, it's like you started writing this darker challenge and then kind of just didn't. I don't know. So I was like, it's not what I want. But it made me kind of think, like, I liked the way that kind of went in the very beginning. And then I found the Disney villain legacy and I was like, okay, so we're going to kind of do something like that because that's a little darker. You're taking like the typical villains and turning them into things. And I might rearrange orders. I haven't looked too much into the Disney villain one. And again, I started doing this before Christmas. So I started doing this like in December. It is now technically, well, for you it's May. It's almost May for me. You know what I mean? It's the weekend before. So, and I'm dying of allergies. I'm so sorry. Bear with me here. I cannot breathe all of a sudden. Um, so that's kind of, so we're gonna like work through, and I'm gonna skip generations. Bird, stop! You don't need to shriek. You can talk to the birdies outside and be nice. Why you scream at them? That's why they don't want to be friends with you. That's why nobody likes you. I'm kidding. Everybody loves you. I do too, but you know what? Stop. And I don't know why. Like, he's just started this like noise lately, and I'm like, I just want to strangle you when you make that noise. I would never do that. And yelling at him does nothing. You're like, stop, and he does nothing. He's just like, what? Okay, I'm gonna shriek more, and you're like, oh dear God. It's like negative reinforcement works on him. I don't know. Like, he's such an asshole. I do love my bird, but he's kind of an asshole. Anyway, so that's where we are. So technically, we're starting with Generation 2 because Generation 1 was Cinderella, and I kind of pulled that from the Happily Never After. But I wanted her to be a story background. And I was going to start this kind of with a little written out story, like picture kind of thing, like we did for the History Challenge, if you were here for that. But I was like, that's going to take a lot of work, and you'll see why when we kind of get to that. So, and unfortunately, I originally had our Cinderella in here, because this is her son. That's where we're starting. We're starting with him. I originally had her in here as an older woman, and then I used MC Command Center to kill her. But I guess she was standing in the road and not on the lot, and she disappeared, and there was no tombstone. And I'm like, but I really wanted her ghost to come and haunt him and like be annoying and like drive him crazy. It didn't work out that way, and like I was just like, whatever. Like, so it is what it is. So he's haunted enough by her, as you'll see. Hold on. Oh my God, I just allergies. Pause. So sorry, I'm dying. Anyway, so I just don't know where to go with this because I want to read her backstory. I want to give you all the backstory and everything like that. But at the same time, I don't want to just sit frozen on him. I want him to go and do stuff. This way it's a little more entertaining for you than just staring at him, although he is beautiful. Um, but if you see the house, well, you'll understand. We'll get into that. So this is Sebastian Snow, of course, because he's our Snow White, right? Yeah. And I kind of forgot he's got the soulmate aspiration because obviously he's our Snow White. You kind of Snow White if you did Disney Princess Challenge or even Happily Never After, I guess. I don't really remember the Snow White stuff in that one, but you can kind of see soulmate aspiration, or not the soulmate. He's not the soulmate. He's got the serial romantic. Did I say soulmate? Oh, he did. I think I meant for him to have the serial romantic, and I might have given him the wrong one. Anyway, whatever. That's not what I wanted. His personality, right? He's got a negative reputation already, which is funny because we didn't have that when I created this. Anyway, he's romantic. He's non-committal. He's gloomy. I'm pretty sure he was supposed to have the serial romantic, because he's non-committal. So yeah, serial romantic was what he was supposed to have. Shh, just pretend. Anyway, so that's him. I'm gonna play. He's just, yeah. Anyway, we'll follow him around. But so I don't remember, and actually I don't know if I might have restarted this or done it. Oh no, so yeah, okay. So Giselle was his mother. She unfortunately, we don't have her tombstone. You can see this beautiful house that he lives in. I originally had a different house, and what I was going to do was take this rundown house that I downloaded off the gallery and everything. I think I got him off the gallery. No, I might have gotten this one off of the Sims resource. He's picking up the garbage. That's adorable. I was originally going to take the house, redo it, and make it nice and beautiful, and then do the story with Giselle so you could see like whatever and do like the photo story thing. And I was like, that's going to take me forever to take a rundown house that was made specifically to look rundown. Again, I had a different one. And make it look nice, like it was supposed to be nice originally. You know what I mean? And do the revert. I'm like, that's going to take me way too freaking long. I'm like, holy crap, I don't know if I can do that. And then it took me months to be able to start this. So it is what it is. Anyway, so Giselle was basically, so to kind of going with the happily never after kind of storyline and everything, she was basically a poor girl. She fell in love with a wealthy young man. I think kind of, I'm just reading the notes that I made, so like I didn't, like I said, I didn't refresh myself on the story, so I might have to fill in some gaps or be like, I don't remember what I was thinking. But he was basically married another wealthy young woman. Like obviously, like Giselle was like this poor girl. I kind of know, like maybe she was a servant in their house. You know what I mean? Like she worked for him, and she was totally in love with him. But of course, he's this wealthy guy. Like he's not going to marry the maid. Sure, in all the romance novels and like all the like, rom-coms and everything, totally happens. But in reality, no. So he's married to this other wealthy young woman. So Giselle was really, really mad about this. So she's got some anger issues and some other mental issues. Like she's not like she's this nice, sweet country girl or something who is just, oh, I was in love with the rich person. No, she has got some fucking issues. Like she is, like, yeah, she was enraged. She was so angry, pissed. Like she deserved it. He should have been in love with her. And it's totally irrational and crazy because she's a little cuckoo. All right. So, God damn it. Why do you fucking call? Stop calling me. I don't know who you are. Anyway. So she plots to get revenge because even though she wasn't wronged in any way, she's just irrational. So, it's most likely, he obviously, like, our rich boy had a little tryst with her. And he kind of liked her. Like, Giselle was beautiful. But it was really just for him. It was just, I'm just going to dip my toes in the pool, but I ain't swimming in it. You know what That's such a terrible analogy. But Yeah, for him it was a fun tryst, whatever. Yeah, But he always knew he was going to marry this other girl. That was always the thing. And this other girl is like rich and she's beautiful and she's got more than Giselle has. You know what I mean? Giselle was just like, hey, she's this pretty hoe, basically. I mean, terrible, but that's this whole entire storyline, right? So, you know, he knew he was going to marry well. Like, he has to for his own status and whatever. And, like, even if he was ever in love with Giselle, he was never intending to marry her, right? Like, never. He was like, whatever. So, oh, the thunder in this is beautiful. So she meets up with at a party, right? So, of course, maybe she's working there or she kind of weasels her way into this fancy party, sneaks in, sleeps with someone to get in. Who knows? Like, God knows what she was doing. She's not mentally stable, people. That's all we're getting at. She roofies him, she seduces him, and she basically has an affair with him while he's married to this other woman. Of course, not entirely his fault. He was drugged by this crazy bitch, right? And she basically threatens to expose him to his wife, which, is technically bad because his father's company isn't really doing that great. And, like, this other woman, his wife's money and, like influence and everything is kind of what's keeping his family going and in the spotlight type of a thing. And a divorce and a scandal would be really bad for him. And it would be financial ruin. And he's used to always being rich. He doesn't know how to deal with being anything other than rich. So he's like, fine. He sets Giselle up with this nice house, which is the one we live in. So obviously it's not so nice anymore, but whatever. He sets her up in this nice house in a whole other town. Like, here's something so that she can have, this wonderful, lavish life. You know what I mean? And he sends her a set amount of money, but she's often calling him over and, like, he obliges her. He does this because he's really afraid, because she threatens him, like, I will tell your wife, you better freaking come visit me, like, whatever, So he obliges to keep her quiet, and on occasion, she seduces him. Like, he's very weak-willed and often, like, afraid she's gonna ruin his life, so it's like, he gets to this point where he's like this complete and utter, like, Stockholm Syndrome victim. Like, I gotta do what she says because she's gonna ruin my life. And it's like, his wife probably, like, is a very strong-willed, determined woman, and he's probably always been, like, weak and whatnot, so whatever. His psychology is not what we're worried about, right? Anyway, so she ends up pregnant, right? So he gives her more money to stay quiet, but she wants him. Like, the money's great and the house was great, but you know what? Now it's a matter of principle for her. She wants him. She doesn't want this money. She wants this man, right? Because that's the only thing she can't have. She can't have him, right? So he reluctantly spends time with them. He lives in another town, like I said, so he kind of visits on business trips. That's the best he could do. He can't divorce his wife or whatever. So like, his family, like, there's a factory. They have a factory in this town. So when he's on business trips, he can come, he can spend time with them and whatever. And it kind of works out. I mean, I would say it works out for him, but I don't think he really wants this situation. He's kind of forced into this, but now it's like he's stuck in this situation. What's he going to do? He can't be like, you know what? No. She's going to tell his wife and, like, that he's got this whole other side family. And, he's just in too deep at this point. So anyway, so Giselle's pretty happy. And she spends her time frolicking in her wealth, drinking and partying. She's just enjoying her life because now she kind of has everything, she thinks. I mean, So she drunkenly confesses to a friend of hers about lying to this guy about Sebastian. Because Sebastian's not actually his. So this friend, I've kind of just put notes. The friend could be either, like, a female friend or could actually be Sebastian's father. Not really sure about this. So, but then I kind of had a note, like, why would he ignore Sebastian? He might not know it's him, you know what I mean? But anyway, so we don't really know who this friend is in this role, but, like, the friend is like, you know what, this is kind of fucked up shit, and ends up telling the guy, and And then this man confronts Giselle and basically disappears, you know? Um, oh, well, they fight. Oh, never mind. He doesn't disappear. They fight. I was like, I said, I thought I wrote runs, and I'm like, fight. Wait, right. That's not how the story goes, right? So they're fighting now, right? So they're in this like heated argument. And she is, like I said, she's psycho. She drinks a lot. She parties a lot. God knows if she's doing drugs. I don't know. So she attacks him and she ends up killing him, basically. Um, so she tries to cover it up. So she drives his car into a river so it looks like he had an accident. And his family never finds out. I don't know how the cops apparently really suck at their jobs and they're not like, huh, I mean, or it's like, oh my God, he was in a terrible car accident. I don't really know how she manages to get away with it, but whatever. So his family never finds out. They just think, oh no, he died in a car accident. It's tragic, right? So, I mean, I guess that's, I don't really know if that's better for them or not. I mean, they never know about the side family. They never know he was murdered. They just lost their poor son slash husband. Who knows? He probably had other kids, dad. I don't know. So meanwhile, though, back in Snowville over here, Giselle blames Sebastian. And she's never been good to the poor kid. I mean, she didn't want him. So she's very verbally and physically abusive to him. Even still, like Sebastian, as a kid, he loves his mother. You know what I mean? It's all he knows. Um, but he takes care of her. So he basically, as a child, was taking care of his drunken, angry, psycho mother. So the manor basically has fallen into shambles, which you can see by the lovely state of affairs, because she ends up not being able to take care of anything. So it kind of falls into ruin. This is far extensive ruin. What are you doing? Are you actually cooking, or are you are you actually gonna do this? I don't know where okay, hold on. Is it because we don't have counter space? Oh, we don't have counter space. Hold on. Let's move some shit. This is why he's just standing there doing nothing. Let's move some shit. We don't need all of this crap around. I mean, so there. Can you maybe now... I think this was not meant to be a house that you could live in. Let's see if he can do this now. This was not meant to be a house that you could live in. I think it was meant to literally we're going to do the best we can here. Anyway, so... So the manor is like fallen into ruin basically, and Giselle eventually dies in a drunken fall down the stairs, basically. So she's drugged, she falls down the stairs, like whatever. But her last words to like Sebastian is he's rushing to try to save her, like, oh my God, no, mother, like whatever. Is to basically blame him for it. Blame him for not catching her, stopping her, saving her, whatever. And then that's basically where we kind of start with Sebastian, who is our Snow White. So Giselle was our Cinderella, wanting her Prince Charming and never getting it. And literally, this is why Sebastian, if you've noticed, when we look at him, has these lovely, like, sad scars because his mother was physically abusive and scarred him as a child. And now he's just like, whatever. And mentally and emotionally and physically, like, the man's messed up. That's why he's not, I mean, that's why he's non-committal. He's very romantic. I don't know why. He needs love and attention because he never got it from his mother, so. And he's gloomy because, of course, look at the fucking conditions he lives in, this poor thing. Anyway. So, he basically grows up not knowing real love because his mother treated him like crap. Well, she was also very dependent on him. His father abandoned him, he was told. Because he was she told him, your father left because he didn't want you. It was your fault he left. Not because Giselle killed him in a drunken, angry rage. It was literally, she blamed Sebastian for this. So this poor fucking guy. So basically, Giselle had told him that the father left because she was pregnant and she refused to give him up. Even though the father kept showing up, but I guess he kind of is not sure, like, wait, is that my actual father? Or is that just your boyfriend? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, he's like, she's told so many lies and so many things that he doesn't even know what to believe. He doesn't know if that man that always showed up was his actual father or just his mother's boyfriend or like what, like, because she would always tell him, he's your dad, but then he's like, but you told me my dad abandoned us because you were pregnant and you didn't want to. But then again, who he was told was his father, the Prince Charming, right, that Giselle was in love with, shows up and doesn't stay for very long. He'll come every once in a while. So Sebastian does kind of think like, oh, he doesn't actually love me. He's only here for my mom and he hates me. You know, because if you think about it, like if you were basically told like, oh, you were extorted into giving shit about this kid, he kind of resents him a little bit. But so like, I mean, so poor Sebastian never had love anymore. So that's whatever. Anyway, she basically has guilted him his whole life to make him more subservient. And it's just kind of her way of abusing the man that she told Sebastian was his father. We still don't know if it is his father or not. Because she can't have him, you know? And so she can't have him, and she murdered him, and she's just like angry at this man that she can't have that she murdered, and she's taking it out on poor Sebastian. She's done like more than a number on him. She's done the whole fucking array of numbers on him. Okay, basically. Anyway, so when his mother dies, he's crushed about it, you know, because he's always dependent on her. She's like, you know, made him subservient and kind of dependent on her, but he's also happy about it, and that kind of fucks him up a little bit more. So he doesn't understand the complexity of this, being happy about it but being sad about it, and you know, so he's obviously, we know he's physically scarred from her constant abuse. Though while she kind of hated him and abused him and blamed him, you know, and all of these things, she made sure to, you know, kind of condition him to only love her. Because that's her way of getting the love she couldn't get from his father, who, we don't know if it's really his father, but we'll just call it his father, you know. Anyway, so it makes Sebastian very kind of disdainful for women because his mother basically trained him without realizing that they're evil, psycho, crazy people. You know what I mean? Like, so, and her treatment also doesn't like help this whole complex that he's got going on. So, but despite his physical scars and his emotional ones, I mean, the internal, external scars, he's goddamn beautiful. Look at him. He's a fucking Disney prince, right? Well, whatever. He's a Disney princess. But, and the scars kind of make him seem like, oh, he's a little dangerous. Oh, he's beautiful and dangerous. And he's kind of like a little standoffish and whatever. So that kind of makes him more attractive to women. You know what I mean? Which is just weird to him, but he eventually is learning to like, oh, okay. Yeah, I could get what I want, and like, because he never had love. So like, there's a point where all of a sudden that switch flips from when he's like, you know, God, I don't trust women because look at what my mother did to me, blah blah. And then all of a sudden he's like, wait, so me treating you like garbage, you're down with that? And wait, and then I can get attention and affection from you, but it's not enough because obviously, like, he doesn't know what real love is. He needs it. He wants it in his life, but he doesn't know what it is. And so he's out there having all these affairs. Could you actually, what is your deal? I don't know what he keeps doing. He's freaking me out. Anyway, so he has a lot of trysts. So he's a serial romantic. So he bed hops for his physical needs and to get that feeling of love that he lacks, even though it's temporary, it's fleeting, and he doesn't realize that, you know, the difference. But he doesn't realize the desire to actually want someone to actually love him because obviously he doesn't understand what that feeling even is. It's kind of foreign to him. So my goal for this generation is he needs to have 7 kids with different women. So I don't know if I want to do he has to have 7 kids or just have he has to try to have a baby with 7 different women. Hold on. You know, like we try for baby with 7 different women, and if it works out with kids, awesome. If it doesn't, fine. I haven't quite figured that out, what we're going to do. So it's going to be one of those, but basically, like, it's going to be one of those. I know we're definitely going to try for a baby with at least 7 women, but we might just do that as opposed to like, fuck, half of them don't. I've rarely had it happen. Try for a baby doesn't actually yield a baby, so whatever. So he's also kind of going to discover through this whole thing that his mother lied to him and killed his father. I'm not sure when, if he's figured that out as we're going through or he already knows it. That's just, I mean, we know it, but he's going to eventually have discovered it or will discover it. That's just a note I have. So the other goal I kind of want to do is I want to complete his serial romantic aspiration. And we're starting off in our crumbling house, which I have not noted. And then it's kind of like I don't really know what to do. Those are just the two things I definitely want to do with him. But I don't know. We'll see how he progresses. Is he going to get better? I kind of doubt it because the whole point of this is not, we want to fix his life. This is not like the single father challenge I did where you start off and he's kind of a bum and like whatever, and then he's got a kid and then he's like, he changes his life and gets his shit together and everything. It's not going to be like that. He's probably going to live and die like this. And then we'll transition into one of his children into kind of the Disney villain legacy at that point. So there's my little note that the Happily Never After is too much like the Disney princess. Like, I'm just reading all my additional notes for everything. So I think my original note was Gen 3 would be the evil queen in the Disney villain legacy, which I think might actually be the third generation in that one. But the difference on that was, I think, the child is raised by the mom and doesn't even know the father, but still only cares about beauty, like in the leg. I have little notes on how it's gonna be different, obviously, because we're starting the Disney villain legacy like in the third, technically, generation, I think, or it might have been the fourth. I'm not sure, and I might rearrange things. But I had to fit it in with how my prequel kind of already started. So, look, nobody came as a welcome wagon to welcome me into the neighborhood. How fucking rude is that shit? Where's he going? He's like, you need to talk to someone. So, is this a lady?
Oh.
Oh. Can we, like, have a... Oh my god. I was like, I think I know this. Rafe, what are you doing? That is so not... That is not... Those pants. Honey, no, those are way too tight for you. Those are lady pants. I was hoping a lady would walk by that we could talk to because he needs social. His social skills are like complete and utter. You're gonna end up burning shit down, and you know what? If shit catches on fire, I'm not gonna like do anything. We just literally spent the entire episode with him just walking around, but you got to look at his pretty face at least. The poor thing is miserable. It's 7 a.m. I don't really think he is not. It's gonna be sad living here, is all I'm saying, because this place is depressing. But I love it. Like, I love how goddamn awful this place is. Like, I don't know, maybe we'll fix things up, or maybe we'll try to make things a little bit less, run down and awful. Oh! Friendly introduction. Let's go talk to this vampire lady. I'm pretty sure she's a vampire. Yeah, she's a vampire. You need social, so let's go talk to her. We gotta get you like some romantic skills and shit like that, because...
Serpino Revobe? Muchi Pichi.
Talk about the rain. He doesn't have an umbrella. Ask about her day. We just need to get some social skills.
Yibs. Wavu, Ruskan Lampima? Muchi
Hold on, I guess he's gonna...
Baragway.
Hey, Bruges.
Yaba thanks. Criffum.
Sorry, I'm dying. But anyway, he's gonna sit here and like talk to her and all of that because he needs to meet some ladies, and then that's where we're basically going to go from here. So we're going to go woo some ladies. He's gonna have to try to like get his serial romantic aspiration and at least try for a baby with 7 women. And then what we'll do is when we're ready to move on, because I don't want the kids living with him. So it's only unfortunate like that.
Sepine?
Why are vampires always so tired? They're always dead on their feet!
That's the noise on.
She's like, that's true, though.
Susa.
I'm not a history buff. Maybe check out the library. Don't be rude. Are you coming into my house? Can we woohoo with you? Are we there yet? He's like, I'm gonna go take a bath. She's like, I'll watch. Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. See? He attracts the vampires, too, because he's so dark and mysterious. But... yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go and we'll start working out and having him work toward his goals of being a... She did not even mind. She was like, I don't mind the view. I don't...
Mooch.
Oh, now she's shocked. She's like, oh!
Lorraine.
It's okay. He's handsome. It's fine. But yeah, so that's that. And that's where we are. And yeah, we're not going to have the kids live with him, but we will we'll name them when they get to toddlers. So we'll start picking names. I might just randomize things. I don't think I'm gonna...
Ooh.
I mean, we can always just see what happens. The game's gonna name them, but it's gonna name them stupid things that I don't like. So, if you got name suggestions for any of his lovely children, feel free to leave them. Otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of throw some names in a hat or just randomly pick them. We don't have any naming conventions here, you know, but I don't think I trust the game to name them because, you know, I like my Sims having weird ass names or not names of people that I know. It's weird. So I don't know why. I just can't do that because then it makes me associate that Sim with that person and then it just feels creepy. I don't know. So anyway, but yes, we'll continue on next week. So I hope you're going to enjoy this. I think it should be fun. I had a lot of fun writing it. We'll see how it goes because I always have great ideas like, oh, this is going to be so good. And then we get like, you know, halfway through it. I'm like, yeah, well, I didn't think this all the way through. But it should be fun trying to do some kind of the villain legacy, keeping everything a little like, you know, everybody's lives going to be kind of miserable and bitchy, and they're going to kind of be all awful. That's what I'm trying to go for. Awful, but we still love them for some reason. So, anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.